Have you ever wondered how does Bitcoin work, who created Bitcoin and what is the blockchain technology? What comes to your mind when you think of money? Some might envision the humble dollar bill, others might hear the clink of pennies and others coin filling a piggy bank. In today's modern electronic world, much of the time our money only exists as numbers on a screen. Your paycheck can be directly deposited into your bank account. You can then spend that money online or pay bills electronically. The money that is in physical form is only the fraction of the money that is available in the world. When you transfer money online, it doesn't require big infrastructure because banks are not literally going to move your money from one place to another. It is just an entry in the database. They are just going to make an entry of your name and amount of money transferred in the database. Unless you go to a bank or use a debit card to request paper money, your money will remain purely digital. Even though it remains in a virtual digital realm, your money is still based upon currency issued by a government. It is also controlled and regulated by large financial institutions such as banks. But what if we can create a system of money which is independent of government and financial institutions? In other words, money that can exist apart from any government and doesn't involve any financial institution. That was the thought that led to the creation of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency or sometimes called a virtual currency or digital currency. It is a new type of money that is totally virtual. It is stored in a digital wallet application on computers and smartphones. Instead of relying upon governments and financial institutions to create and manage it, Bitcoin relies upon a vast decentralized network of computers used by individuals or groups known as miners to validate and keep track of transactions using cryptography and advanced mathematics. The worldwide financial crisis of 2008 prompted the invention of Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto. No one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but many people suspect that Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym used by a group of programmers who created the blockchain.
That's when a group of smart guys decided to change things. They invented a new form of currency, the one that government and banks would not control. They called it Bitcoin. To prevent forgery, they invented a complicated algorithm that would create new Bitcoins. To prevent any fraud, they decided to register all Bitcoin transactions in one digital ledger, which they called a blockchain. At first, there were just a few of those smart guys, but with time, more and more people saw that Bitcoin was just like gold, only better.
Blockchain is the fundamental technology behind the Bitcoin. The blockchain is like publicly distributed ledger. It is an ever-expanding computer file that contains the history of the creation of every Bitcoin in existence, as well as every Bitcoin transaction ever conducted. As Bitcoins are created and transactions take place, they are made part of collection of data known as a block. When block is filled, it is added to chain of blocks in a sequential order after it has been validated by miners in the Bitcoin network. Miners possess specialized computer and equipment capable of performing the advanced mathematics and cryptography required to validate Bitcoin transactions. They compete to be the first to validate new blocks because the winning miners are issued newly created Bitcoins for their efforts, and that is how new Bitcoins are created. As new blocks are added, the blockchain is updated and relayed to all the computers, also known as nodes in the Bitcoin network. This makes Bitcoin very secure, since hackers would have to break into nearly all nodes simultaneously to steal Bitcoins. Most experts consider this an impossible task. When Bitcoin began, each Bitcoin was worth almost nothing. A lot has changed in the last decade. In 2017, Bitcoin hit an all-time high value of $19,000 and again lost more than 50% of its value within the matter of days. And that is the reason we are not being able to use cryptocurrencies for payments and money transfers. Value of a currency should not fluctuate frequently. It must be stable. However, the cryptocurrency is extremely volatile. Its value quickly decreased to less than half its peak and continues to fluctuate wildly based upon numerous factors, including the fact that many countries are attempting to regulate or ban cryptocurrencies altogether. However, Bitcoin might not suffer from devaluation in the future like the government-issued currency often does. When central governments print more money, the value of current money decreases. To prevent this problem, Bitcoin was designed in a way that limits the total number of Bitcoins that will ever be issued to 21 million Bitcoins. Experts estimate that the last Bitcoin will be mined in the May of 2140. So how do you get Bitcoins today? You can buy them with government-issued money. You can also sell things and ask people to pay you with bitcoins.
The first step on your journey to becoming a legendary Bitcoin trader is to open a Bitcoin wallet. A Bitcoin wallet is simply an app, website, or device that manages your Bitcoin private keys and allows you to receive, store, and spend Bitcoins. Wallets come in two forms: hardware wallets and software wallets, also known as cold and hot wallets. Cold wallets are hardware devices like the Ledger Nano S, Trezor, and KeepKey. They are much more secure, but often cost a few $100. Hot wallets protect your private keys via web applications, apps on iOS and Android platforms, and even desktop apps. Examples include Exodus, Free Wallet, Jaxx, and Electrum. Hot wallets are the most popular way to store and access Bitcoin, but can be hacked. After you've chosen a Bitcoin wallet, make sure to avoid scams and theft by 1. Generating your private keys in a secure, offline environment. 2. Create backups of your private keys. 3. Encrypt wallets to provide additional security. Now that you've got a Bitcoin wallet, you're almost ready to start buying. But first, you've got to find someone willing to sell their Bitcoin in exchange for your money. Most people buy and sell Bitcoin on exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, and OKEx. In order to open a trading account on a major exchange, you'll need to have a valid ID and a bank account. After you open your account, you need to find a good offer. You can buy the Bitcoin using your credit card or debit card and via bank transfer, but some restrictions may apply.
And finally, you can become a Bitcoin miner. However, it is difficult and expensive to acquire the technology needed to mine Bitcoins. More and more online stores are accepting Bitcoin as payment. You may never be able to pay your taxes with Bitcoin. Nevertheless, many people still find Bitcoin attractive because it's not controlled by governments or banks, and it allows transactions to be completely anonymous. Of course, as long as you don't give out your Bitcoin wallet identification code. If you are more interested in the future of blockchain and the Bitcoin, be sure to check out the playlist that is on your right side. And if you want to know about the first company that disrupted the financial industry by opening an internet bank and introducing online payment services, watch the story of PayPal by clicking on your left side. Thank you all for watching. See you soon.